Alright, so now is a really important time to work on yourself. I'm really working on learning languages, especially. I need to work on my physical fitness too, which is hard for me to do. Learning this discipline. I'm more driven now than I ever have been before. You need to start saving up some money. Everyone does. We all need to work together, figure out ways of coming together as a community and as a nation, because we're not going to do it on our own. We're not going to survive food shortages or pandemics or anything on our own. I'm going to work, hopefully I can communicate with the city government if food shortages happen, to work on finding food sources that are local. Hopefully we can get together with resources with people who are natural foragers, who know how to forage locally, like the garden center. People at the garden center who may know some wild plants that are edible, and we can help propagate those quickly. They're native to our areas, they do well. Work with the city to build cool frames and or cold frames and greenhouses to help speed up the growth. Work on figuring out where to find meat quickly. Think of meats that can easily become quickly produced, like worms, for instance. Especially red wigglers, they're called, or vermicast worms. They will reproduce quickly, so those can be good for a food source. They're gross, but when you're hungry, you'll eat anything. Work on those for a food source. So yeah, just come together as a community to really work together and see what we can do. Maybe work for bioreactors as an idea of what to happen if the grid goes down for whatever reason, because of like CMEs, coronal mass ejections, because of geomagnetic activity right now of the sun. So have bioreactors as a way of heating in exchange if something happens. And you could use human fecal matter as the fuel source. So that would help with, any kind of sewage issue. We'd use it up. We could just use it for heating and stuff, for cooking and whatnot. We have some people. I know there was talk about this one person who came from Afghanistan here. He was on the news, or not on the news, but he mentioned the news. He was a carpenter in Afghanistan, so he could be of use. We have carpenters that could be of use. So we have people that we have to learn to use together. We have to learn to communicate together as a community. That's one reason I'm learning so much on languages, because if I become really good at languages and I become just so good at learning them quickly and I can learn things quickly, I believe that the government may recruit me to work for them. And if I'm working for the government, it seems like I'll be more likely to, how should I put it, get food because they want to support their own people. So I suggest you also work on skills, whatever you would excel at, maybe infrastructure. So you may be recruited by the government to, be fed by them because they're gonna have food. So we're gonna have to work together if something happens. Work up skills. We have to read. We have to really figure out things. I've already decided, we have the Botanical Conservatory. You could grow stuff there. You could, I've heard in Chicago there's a place that uses composting to help heat a greenhouse. So you can do that. There are buildings around town that are abandoned. We could grow stuff in there, maybe in the windows, and while growing things in there, we could have people living in there to help maintain the environmental heat, keep the warm bodies in there and stuff. Anyway, this is just stuff I was thinking of. So we've got to come together if something happens. Share stuff, work together, figure out how to produce food fast, and work together, figure out who can, like someone like me who's big, I can go without food for a little while. I may be able to skip a day without food, go for food without food for 24 hours. or at least be on less food. So if you're big, you can have a restricted calorie diet to help, ease the suffering of someone who's thinner. So like me, because I'm thinner or I'm bigger, I would need fewer calories. So yeah, that's just it. Something happens, we gotta stick together, figure things out together, work together. We can go farther together than we can by ourselves. Don't be afraid to ask for help.